Today we're going to work on this chassis. It's a Electrohome G07. It's for Mitch out of his Miss Pac-Man. So when we fired it up, when I was at his house, I thought maybe I heard a little bit of static, like the high voltage was kicking on, but I can't be sure because I could also hear the sound and it had a little crackle in the speaker. But there was no neck glow and it didn't seem to have any life at all. So let's go ahead and throw it in my test tube here. Test tube. This is an old Centipede, I think, monitor. And it was in the Kangaroo most recently. But let me throw this chassis on here and then we'll get started. Have the chassis all installed on the tube now. The first thing I want to do is check the fuses. I already know that we're not getting any picture. So I have this reference chassis here. It'll be easier to show you guys. Bring this light a little closer. So there's two fuses you want to check. One is this little guy right here. You see that? It's in between these two big caps. And that is F901. The other is right around the corner from this wall here. This is F902. If F901 is blown, then you probably have a problem with your hot or your flyback. The hot is just on the other side on this little wall that's over here. It's a round bottle cap transistor, which I don't have on hand. I pulled it out, but I set it somewhere and I'll show you shortly. Oh, actually, I can do this. There it is. So to test this guy, you want to put your black lead on ground somewhere, and then your red lead you want to put right here. And if it beeps or if it's shorted, it psyched me out and I thought it was hot. This thing hasn't been plugged in years. But if it beeps or it goes to zero, it's shorted and it's bad, and that will cause this to go out. This and this guy here are the major culprits. You could also have cold solder joints around the flyback or in the high voltage section, which I think is here. Could be here, but your B plus is there, and there's 4 rectifying diodes here, so I think it's right here. And if it's good, but this one's bad, there's a couple possibilities. It could be this one's a bigger fuse. These are soldered in. If you have an issue where you don't have any that you can solder in like that, what I do is I steal, actually, I look for a parts chassis and I steal the fuse clips out and I put it in there. But now I actually have a bunch. I bought them just for these because it happens so often. But if this one's blown, then one of the possibilities is instead of plugging it in through isolation transformer, somebody plugged it in basically straight to the wall, and it will, I think it's one of those rectifying diodes right there. Actually, it's D901 through 904, and yeah, that's those guys right there. One of those or all of those can blow, and that will blow that fuse, or they'll short, I mean. What was the other thing? Oh, the other thing, and the problem that I have actually with this tube is the DGOS coil. You can see I have it over here zip tied up to not use, because if you plug it into the chassis, it blows that fuse there. So if you have a problem with one blowing fuses and you just can't figure it out, try plugging it in or try hooking it up without hooking up the DGOS coil and see if it plays then. I've actually had this happen more than a dozen times. I mean, I do a lot of monitors, so, but it's saying a lot. I mean, it's normally you would think it would be rare, but no, it happens more than you would think. And it's been times where I've been like, I want to rip my hair out. But the next thing that we need to do, since we know that our fuses are good, is we need to check the B plus. And what we're going to do is put our black lead on ground, and then we're going to put our red lead on this leg of this resistor, I forget what it is, maybe 901 or, oh, hang on, let me see if I can look it up. I think maybe it's R1. Oh yeah, it'd be R1. Yeah, it's R1. So we're going to try, and we're going to put our lead over here, and we're going to be looking for 120 volts. But I need to set us up over here on this one, and then this is my my test rig. Like, I've had this before, but this is, I'm reworking it because I want to put a monitor in here. Oh, knocked over the tripod. I want to put a monitor in up here, and I got a Raspberry Pi in there, converter board. This is a test pattern generator. I want to have a way to play games, everything, be able to test everything completely. The Raspberry Pi is going to simulate my board because I don't have a 60-in-1 or anything to throw in here yet. But I figured it'd be kind of cool to pull it out and be able to play some games on it. But it's ready to go. I have power coming in here to a rocker switch, going through, goes through the fuse, the inline filter, to the isolation transformer. And I have power that runs off. This is going to go to the power supply, which I haven't hooked up yet. I don't think any of those can hit anything. I have myself an outlet, which I haven't hooked up yet. And then I have power from the top that's been isolated, coming down and around and poking out the butt over here. And then I have that hooked up to the monitor, which I have all these different attachments and stuff, but I don't have one that's just a 2-pronger like that. Everything I have is 3. So of course, after I spent all the time making those, I still had to make another one. But let me set up for that. We'll go ahead and test the B+ voltage. You always want to test your B+ after you do it, like say a cap kit, or if you have a monitor that's dead like this. A lot of people just jump straight to the flyback and change the flyback. The flyback may be fine. It could be just any number of parts on the chassis, and you could switch the flyback out and it's still going to be dead, most likely. It's possible you could cap it and catch, some cold solder joints or something like that. Can't ever put that past it. You always want to reflow as well. But let me get set up for that, and we'll figure out what's wrong. Okay, we are all set. I'm going to flip the switch, and we want to see about 120 volts on that meter right there. And it's a little high. I accidentally turned it on a second ago, and I heard high voltage. So I set up a camera over there just in case it came on. But we're a little high. And let's see, we want to be at like 120, and it should be 145 on the opposite side. And it's about 145 where it's at. So let's just try the other leg. No, Willow. This has got live electricity coming to it, baby. Okay. This one is definitely higher than 145. Let me look at my notes here. I have notes from the flowchart. So if we're high, we want to unsolder and remove X701, and if it works, then we have voltage regulator failure, which is the transistor on this side. And if it doesn't, then it's horizontal deflection. So let's go ahead and stop here. Well, let me go ahead and turn it off. Should drop to 0. And I can go ahead and turn this camera off because it didn't come on. It would have been pretty sweet. But all I really did was dust it off, so that would have been kind of a miracle. Let's turn the TPG off. I need to put a LED on that, something fierce. I keep killing batteries. Okay, so let's just try to find X701. And I think it was right in here. I was looking at it from the other way, so 701. Thought there was like a little, it's like one of these kind of resistors here. That's 102. There's 901 there. There's one by itself. Yeah, X701 right here next to this little shield. Right there. So let me pull the chassis. I'll remove that and we'll try her again. And I bet that it comes on. We have a voltage regulator problem, which is this one would be the hot. See, we need to turn it this way. This will help you guys find it. So when you have the chassis turned the same way as it would be in game, it's going to be to the right of this little shield right here. That little guy right there. And the voltage regulator, this is the hot on the side with the flyback, is going to be this one here, C1106. And I do have those, so not a problem. So I will take care of that. We'll take a look at it and fire her back up. So we have X701 taken out, and we are on the leg nearest to us on R1. Turn the TPG on and flip the switch on the box. And we're looking for 145 or to just come on. Okay, I heard high voltage. Let's see. Oh. There is something on the picture. I can't really tell what it is. We do have neck glow. So our problem is going to be that I don't know that our TPG has enough battery juice. See if I can get anything to come on here worth a while to show you guys. Looks like it right now it's just a white screen. And it looks pretty crazy. But it may not, with that transistor out, it may not be supposed to put out a picture. So we're going to need that guy at least. We're going to definitely need a cap kit and a cleaning. So right now I'm going to put the X701 back in. It's fine. It's testing fine. And then I'm going to replace the bad parts on this guy. I'll probably pop in and out if I find anything interesting I need to show you guys, but should be pretty basic from here. We'll cap it and take a look at it. I think it looks much better now. Definitely got it a lot cleaner. Put a new flyback on it. The flyback that was on there, I went ahead and changed. Right after I stopped the camera, I just did some testing and poking around and stuff like that, and turned the chassis off, or turned everything off, and then I turned it back on one more time to you can see the little plastic top of the width coil fell off. I turned it back on to test something else and it wouldn't come on, and I tested it and the hot was actually bad. I did go ahead and change that. It's over here. But what I'm showing you now, that's why I changed the flyback too. Just changed the flyback and the hot. The voltage regulator actually was fine. There was nothing wrong with it. It could have been cold solder joints or something like that. But in the process of the hot going out, the little fuse here, like I was telling you, when the hot or the flyback goes out, it toasted. You can probably see it. I cleaned it off and it's still really dark. So I'm gonna take that out, and then I'm gonna show you what I was talking about with putting the fuse clips in. Let's see where we are here. I think it's okay. So it's right here. Is that it? Okay, yeah, it's right here, not that one. So this point here and this point here are the pigtails for that fuse. As you can see, there's these two spots here and here. I'm gonna clear the solder out of those and then modify some fuse clips that I have and put them in there, and I'll show you how that looks after I get done with it. Give me just 1 second. I think I'm done now. The only thing that I'm iffy on is I may need to replace these pots. I'm not sure yet until we start getting into dialing in the picture. But we have a new flyback and a new hot, and then there's the fuse clip and new fuse in there. That's going to be much easier. Anytime anybody works on this from now on, you just pop that sucker out, and it's not that difficult. Just a little trimming on the fuse holder itself. It wasn't side to side like it was set up. They're front to back, and you just have to cut off the front one and just sink in the back one and solder it in real good. But I'm gonna put it on the tube, and I'm gonna try to rearrange this little setup here so that I can try to go 2 cameras. I think I'm gonna do one on the adjustments that I'm doing, and then one on what the picture looks like, and hopefully that works out. The shop is a mess. I broke my foot, and then I hurt my back favoring my foot last week, so I haven't really been able to move stuff. But I'm supposed to be bringing home a couple really nice games today, so I'm gonna have to get over that real fast. I'll be right back. Okay, I got the game monitor installed here. Once I plugged it in and stuff, it really didn't need a whole lot of adjustments, so I didn't film it. But I wanted to get an ending and show what it looked like in game. So there we go. Thanks for watching. So these 2 right here are going to be ground and 5 volt. So what do we get here? Did I not turn the game on? I didn't turn the game on. I guess that would help. Hang on.
Here it is. A nice little trade. The person I traded got what they wanted. I got what I wanted. And a pretty good deal on it too.
Super hang on. Get what I want.
That comes later.
Yeah.
Okay. It's on fire.
What happened? Whoa.
Lots of smoke.
Well, that's bad.
Yeah, well, thanks for watching.
When you take care of people, people take care of you in this community.
That's the truth.
So everyone, please remember that. Even if we're competitors, we're not enemies.